Yo, what's up? My name's Retro Pat, and sadly, but also happily, I have about 2 more achievements in Dungeon Defenders that I want to take care of before I at least take a break from the game. I love this game very, very much, and I'm aware that you could create goals and be creative and play it forever. And part of me wishes I could, but part of me understands that there's also tons of other video games to play, and I already grind a ton of games for a very long period of time. So I think switching it up in the year 2025 and doing a bit more storyline-based stuff and going back and playing Masterpiece retro games that cost only $5, things like Mass Effect. I've talked about this to no end on this channel. I want to be a little more explorative in 2025, the same way I was in 2023. 2024 has been a blast, and it's been a new journey, and it's been fun, and I've loved every step of the way with Dungeon Defenders, but not every good thing can last forever, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and try something new today, though, and focus on today's challenge. I'm back on my Squire, my favorite character in Dungeon Defenders. Truly brings me so much joy just even playing him, to be totally honest. I want to attempt... We all know that Tinker's Lab Nightmare Wave 1 is really good XP and a really good grind. And I've done that to a lot of, many hours on this channel. I want to say over 20 hours. However, can Ruthless be done in the same way? I kind of don't think so, but I want to try it, okay? It might be too difficult. It might be too hard. I can do Nightmare, like, pretty easily, but Ruthless is just such a different beast. There's going to be, let's see, how many minions? 80 is only 87 minions. Are there any? If I could grind this, I'm not seeing any like orcs or anything. I'm seeing a lot of goblins. I'm not seeing ogres. I think I'm seeing orcs. If there's no crazy, insane, maybe this is doable. My hopes are kind of getting up, fellas. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to figure out what keybinds I have for my, yes, my favorite thing. Okay, there we go. We got it down. So normally what I would do is I would place a harpoon here. I'm gonna get a lot faster with this once we practice a little bit more. Don't worry. I practiced this so much in the past that I got pretty quick. I felt pretty efficient about it. I feel like I got actually quite quick with doing these runs and doing these builds. I think I could do a wave 1 run in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, something like that. You're able to get a ton of XP per hour, but obviously I haven't played in quite a while, so I'm gonna be moving a bit slower this first attempt. Also, just coming back to the map and everything. So I'd place those 3 towers, one looking down that pathway, one looking over here, and then one covering the spider over there, as well as covering the crystal a little better. We'd hop over here, come place usually 2 harpoons, so you do like 1 harpoon here. Actually, I could even do a harpoon. Well, you'd probably do one in front of the crystal. You would do it there, and then you would do one looking down the staircase here. Okay? This is all going fine so far. You would come grab this chest. You would head back up around. There's better movement and stuff to do here as well. I'm just taking it very slow and steady. I'd come over here, come grab this chest. No towers need to be placed over here. And not seeing any ogres. If there's no ogres, no goblin copters, that was something I was really afraid of, was goblin copters wave 1. If that's not a fear. Usually I would place a harpoon here, but I kind of actually just want to place one. I didn't used to do this strategy, but I kind of like the idea of placing one here. Maybe I should place one at each step. I'm not sure. Then I would usually go ahead and do one over here. I like it at the corner so it can act as like sort of a barricade as well. This might work shockingly better than I expect. You would take care of that. That crystal's protected. Hop down here. Very, very slow run for this, obviously. Usually I would start the wave at like 134 seconds or so left on the timer. And there's 86 here. So once again, much slower run, but gotta get this practice in. I probably could go ahead and start now, but it's safer if I go ahead and take my time and go ahead and do things like this, and then go ahead and go place one more over here. I actually have a lot of mana like left over as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start the wave. This tells me that this is probably possible. I'm actually really excited because I actually feel like this will be super, super possible. I do want to go up here. Actually, I feel like this section could need a little more support. Look at these. They're like coming in, but like that's the only... I don't know if I... Maybe I do have enough damage. This goblin's going to make his way over. Over here is looking... this guy... this is not enough. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I mean, that's okay. But I wonder if it's... I really am wondering if it's possible. But then if it is possible, the other question is, even if it is possible, is the XP that you get from it worth it to actually do it over Nightmare? I'm going to guess for the time being no. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do some classic Tinkerer's Lab farming today. If you haven't seen it, I'd be surprised. I've done it a ton on this channel. I've actually never beaten Tinkerer's Lab as a map, and I'd like to try it again at some point. Maybe even beating it on like a lower difficulty, like hard or something, would probably be beneficial. But today, it's just going to be about XP farming. I will say, I feel like I'm at a point where XP farming is a really weird spot for me, I guess. I can do this for sort of quick runs. What I like about this is like one of the things that like Dungeon Defenders kind of lacks in some areas. Just short stuff that you can do, short bursty stuff. I feel like most maps, to be fair, are pretty short and bursty. It's really survival stuff. And I've been doing so much survival grinding recently. Is probably why my perspective is that to such a degree. But we're gonna go ahead and get all these characters spawned. I'm really just gonna be using the Squire while I'm on this map. We're gonna jump into Nightmare difficulty, Tinkerer's Lab, Hardcore. And you've probably seen this run a million times. It's basically what I just did, but just on a lower difficulty, and then speed is really important. So I'll see you guys when I get to the time of when I actually start the wave to see how decently efficient I can do it. Hopefully a lot better this time. As you can see, I have 155 seconds left still here, whereas last time I got to this chest in like 88 seconds. So already getting back on track in terms of speed. And then I would essentially come over here, place a harpoon here just in case, jump down here, usually go ahead and start the wave, and then just place one here. You can usually start the wave early, and then go ahead and last ditch effort, place a harpoon over here, but you probably don't even need it. I was able to do Tinkerer's Lab wave 1 really early. Really early, I guess. It felt like I feel like I was able to do like level 70. Like you can do wave 1 insane, or sorry, Nightmare at like level 70. I feel like I was able to do this super early on in my quote-unquote Dungeon Defenders career. Like, I got used to grinding this map. I grinded this map a lot. It was just fun. It's very quick runs, so you just do wave 1. You would grind this map a lot for mana, was the big thing as well. But I'm mostly gonna be, I'm pretty much just doing it for XP. I can actually go through the waves / runs quicker. There is a mage over here that's stuck, unfortunately, which makes it a little more awkward, but that's okay. They're just taken care of. I essentially will sit here and wait for the XP to come through. So right there, you get like 2.8 or so. I want to see 2.4, 2. I'm here. So you would farm this map just wave 1 for mythicals like this every time. Yeah, so 2.6 million or so XP just like that. And you would just go ahead and restart level. If you wanted to, you would go around and like, if you wanted to get mana, you would go around, open every chest, and then like go to the next wave to consume everything and then click restart. But if you're just going for XP, this is all you have to do. I also just really like that the Squire is actually effective for this method, since obviously I kind of miss playing this character. It kind of saddens me, but I do think part of my, my favorite part of Dungeon Defenders, part of my joy, is not playing the character that I enjoy. It's really unfortunate that the Squire is just not effective on a lot of endgame maps, and it feels like you hurt your progress. I'm all down to hurt my progress for fun and for enjoyment, but it does, maybe I'm just need to get better, and it's a skill gap, right? But it does feel like you have to play the meta characters to be able to beat certain maps. I feel like I really struggle unless I use like the monk with aura stacks, unless I use the lightning towers from the mage, etc. I feel like I really struggle to actually be able to complete some of those much tougher endgame maps. All right, there it is. The end of the second run. Just some more quick XP. So we're starting today at 517 million XP on my Squire. We're going to get a bunch. Actually, I think I started technically, I think 4 mil or whatever XP down. So, but we're starting at around, let's say 510 mil, around 511, 512 mil XP today. We're going to see how much I can get just doing some casual fun runs. So we're going to jump into the next one here. I hilariously don't think I mentioned it. I talked about my 2 goals, but I didn't actually say what they were. So if I wasn't clear, and if you happen to not know, my 2 main goals left in my Dungeon Defenders challenge / journey, at least for now. Once again, I don't think Dungeon Defenders is really a game you ever quit. I think you come back every few years at the very least to experience it. There's nothing like it, right? But I do feel like my final 2 goals that I want to achieve are getting level 100 on a character. I'd really like that character to be my Squire if possible, but I have so many characters once again that are ahead of my level curve because I play them a lot more. So getting level 100 and then completing the Transcendent Survivalist achievement, which is the one that I think recently someone was like, oh, hardest achievement, it's the one I care about the most. I think that not that it's, not that that's the best achievement in Dungeon Defenders objectively, but it's my favorite. It's the one I care about the most. So I love survival, right? So I want to get the Transcendent Survivalist, which includes completing all of these storyline maps survival. I believe it has to be on Nightmare difficulty. I could be, I think it has, I believe so. So I want to complete all of those, which also includes City and the Cliffs. I actually thought it was only up to Glitterhelm Caverns. So I have Glitterhelm Caverns complete, which pretty much tells me I can complete all the other maps. It just takes about 2 hours per map. So even just time-wise, it is such a grind. There's no wonder not many people, I think less than 2% of players have that achievement, because even if you're even if you have the power level, even if you have, super broken characters, whatever, what have you, right? I think it just ends up being still super time. It's I don't know how many maps there are in Dungeon Defenders actually in the main storyline, but I would guess somewhere around, what, 15-ish? Is that too many? No, I think that's probably about right. Plus there's probably like 16. It's probably like a 32 hour thing, and that's like at the quickest, right? Where in reality, your first time, beating Magus Quarters, or your first time beating certain survival maps, it's going to take you a long time, and it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to be much more of a challenge. So in reality, it ends up being like, for me, it took a couple hundred hours. It's probably going to end up being around 300 hours of in-game Steam time. All right, done a few runs by now. I didn't keep track of how many, but I'm just pushing over 530 million XP. I think I've probably been doing this for about 20 or 30 minutes. Nothing crazy, but just really making nice XP per hour, not gonna lie. I might want to try to calculate how long it would take to go from like doing this all the way to level 100. The real question is, how much XP does level 100 require? I've never even asked that question. How much does it require? Would it be 1 billion? That would be like that would be RuneScape numbers. If it requires 1 billion, that means that 92 is essentially half of 100, which is very RuneScape math if you're not familiar. But I wouldn't kind of put that outside of the realm of possibilities. I can actually check my other characters and see like what levels they're at and how much XP. So like, for example, my summoner just got level 93. Let's actually go ahead and go through with that upgrade. We're going to put minion damage fully into it. So my summoner is level 93, has 550 million XP. My monk is level 94, and getting to the next level requires 670 million XP. Oh, fellas, this is hard. Before I even go check the wiki, this is screaming RuneScape math to me. And yup, yeah, pretty much exactly as expected. Level 100 does require around 1 billion XP, just slightly over. This is straight up RuneScape math. That is very, very funny to me. I didn't expect that, but should have known, should have expected it. So I am officially halfway to my goal, fellas. It is important to note that with these runs, I am not getting the same amount of XP on each character. My Squire is getting like pretty significantly more XP, I believe. I think every other character, because their towers aren't being involved, they're not really doing anything, they're literally just AFK, so it makes sense. They're getting around 2 million XP, and my Squire gets around 2.6, 2.8 million XP per run. Also, worthy to note that the next run will be a level up for my Squire, and probably where I'm going to go ahead and probably call it for today. Maybe I'll make a little bit of post-leveling progress, but I'm going to be so far from that next level that it's kind of demotivating, but maybe that's the reason to do it, to motivate myself next time I log in. If I can just gain a little bit of XP passively like this every single day, it might help me work towards that level 100 grind. This is also one of those things where it's kind of unfortunate. I have done all of my Dungeon Defenders progress on video, like pretty much pretty much all of it. Or if I haven't done it on video, I've done like the whole point of that video. Like I did like a loop from 10 hours of doing this, like wave 1 Tinkerer. I grinded for like 10 hours, and I showed like all the progress checkpoints and everything, and the loot and yada yada yada, but I didn't show like obviously all the 10 hours of footage. Unfortunately, I probably am going to start doing a lot of like grinding like this off camera, passively on my laptop while watching movies with my wife, just sort of have it be a background thing. If I have, a few minutes to spare, let me hop on Dungeon Defenders and do a run, get some XP, right? Make a little bit of progress. I feel like that's something I'm going to start doing, which is really good for my Dungeon Defenders progress and to help me complete the game in the way that I feel, complete for the time being. But it's also a little, it's also kind of, a lot of good changes and a lot of bad, unfortunately. A lot of ups and downs at the moment with my Dungeon Defenders journey. And I appreciate you guys. Everybody's been so supportive, so responsive, so sweet and kind. Everybody understands. I know a lot of you guys want me to keep playing Dungeon Defenders, but at the same time, you've been understanding. You've all been very kind about, understanding. You want me to play games that I enjoy, and it's something that I always encourage people to do. And it's not that I enjoy Dungeon Defenders anymore. It's more like I just need a little bit of a break. I'll come back to it in due time. And I don't want to be forcing myself to play a game that I don't enjoy. I think that's super, super important. Because otherwise, if I just sit here and I grind Dungeon Defenders when I'm not enjoying it, that might hurt my longevity with the game. That might prevent me from actually coming back to the game in the future. And you never really want to do that. You always want to just come back naturally and play a game that you're enjoying. You shouldn't have to work to play games all the times. It can depend, honestly. If you're very serious, you want to be competitive, if you want to be a semi-pro or pro Overwatch, League, whatever player, I think sometimes it's okay for video games to become somewhat workish, especially with MMOs and such. But I don't think I want Dungeon Defenders to be that for me for the time being. I'm gonna go build an extra harpoon. This is the first time that I made a mistake there. Yeah, I didn't build a harpoon here. That's what I did. First time I made a mistake on these runs, but that's okay. At least we caught it on camera. I mean, or it's more embarrassing that it's on camera, but I don't know. Good to show you guys that mistakes do happen. I'll get less XP because of that, because crystals were damaged. But that's okay. Still enough XP to get that level up. It's honestly a massive XP drop, I think. Like 30% less XP. That's a lot less, but that's okay. We're going to jump into this level up and probably just put things into tower damage. I want to see my Squire towers do a lot more damage. I don't really feel like they do enough right now. I might even want to, I need to look for like better gear possibly for my Squire, or maybe look for upgrades. Let's see what levels everything's at. I mean, most things are leveled up. Maybe I do just need to work on getting higher pieces of gear for him, but we'll work on that in the future. All right, there we go. I did about 2 more runs for fun. This one did end up getting a crystal attacked as well, so not as much XP, but that's okay. Just kind of having fun. I really enjoy this style of run, so honestly, this has been a blast to kind of get back to this. Very comfy, very chill, consistent, grindy progress. I like this sort of thing. And that is honestly going to be it for me today. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and hopefully we can look back at the series with eyes of wonder and joy and just appreciate that we had it in the meantime. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next episode. Make sure to check out, I actually am uploading a different style of video. I think it's either 2 days after this video or 2 days before this video. So make sure to check it out. It's a video covering a PS1 game, a strange PS1 game called Eminem's Shell Shocked. I put a lot of effort and time into it. I don't know if it's good. Let me know what you think. Like it, dislike it, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace, Reno. Yo, thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video, and a huge shout out to everybody listed here who goes above and beyond, supports the Patreon, and allows me to focus more on Dungeon Defenders content. Thanks again. Have a great day.